Hi, I'm LauraJthe.Treetalker. The focus of my channel is nature and the spirituality of trees, seeing what we can learn from them that will help us live our own lives with less stress, with more acceptance of events in our lives, and maybe help us move into the future with some joy, some appreciation of just being alive, no matter what our circumstances. You may wonder how I talk to something that doesn't speak at all, apparently, or how I came about even wanting to. It's a bit of a long-winded story, but I'll do my best to make it short. In 2006, I was attending an interesting 3-day seminar about Celtic tree magic. The last half day was devoted to questions, so I asked, since this subject dealt with trees of the British Isles, as those trees were known many hundred years ago, if anyone had ever updated it or included trees from North America. Well, the speaker said excitedly, pointing at me, "No, but you could do it and you could write a book." You kind of had to have been there, but I took it as an instruction, not from the lecturer, but from out there. I thought, oh man, I'm going to have to do this. So I started thinking about how. I can draw, so I could do the pictures, and sometimes you see them behind me on an easel or something. And I know how to do psychic readings, so I could make some kind of contact with the trees. I figured that would be a good place to start with a book. It took me a while to organize the project and decide what trees to include and to figure out how to speak to something that probably didn't have English as a first language. Eventually, I decided they all had to be 100% native to this continent with as much variety as possible within the limited format of 12 trees per book, each of which covered a geographical area. Needless to say, when I first tried speaking to trees, all I heard was something to the effect of wind through the branches. After a while, I tried going through the spirit of a departed animal companion who had been a tree in some lifetime or other, asking it to be a go-between with the trees. That worked, and after a while, the trees got used to me. So when I spoke to them and asked them questions, they responded quite often with an image that included an accompanying meaning. After that, I just followed the breadcrumbs, and it's gotten so easy for me to do now that I just hear the words and have little conversations with them. The nice thing about trees is that they really are wise. I figure that's because they've existed for such a long time and have such a big job creating oxygen for the planet. I also find them to be largely non-judgmental, although they see everything we do. They have an overall group mind, but each is an individual that personally interacts with this environment. The book series, entitled Secret Voices from the Forest, consists of Volume 1, The West, Volume 2, The Mid-Continent, and Volume 3, The East. There. They currently can only be bought on Amazon, and I've placed links to the pages on my home page. You need to follow the links exactly because you may not find the books otherwise. However, I'm looking into what I need to do to use PayPal so people can buy from me directly. Also, I only have about 200 copies each, and I have no plans to reprint because it costs thousands, which I don't currently have. And a special shout out to Colton at awesome, AWSOME, _42, who really just wants to make people laugh and smile and would love for you to visit his channel. This is LauraJthe.Treetalker. I hope you have a great rest of the weekend. Bye.